Hi, my name is Andy Lightfoot, and I want to talk with you about perspective and how our perspective toggles. I notice my perspective toggling between survival mode operation and higher mind activation, or say survival mode activation and higher mind operation. Anyway, you understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the prefrontal cortex part of the brain coming back online. Like when I'm triggered and my stress response is activated, the prefrontal cortex part of my brain, the front part of my brain, it's basically shuts off, just like my leg falling asleep. If I've been sitting in a funny position, um, basically the higher functioning part of my brain numbs out under stress response activation. And so, what I want to do is wake up this part of my brain as quickly and efficiently as possible and get good at waking it up, recognizing that, okay, the triggers will be there. I'll experience triggers, I'll experience my system activating again. It's okay. Uh, what can I do to help myself deactivate my system? And yeah, there's a number of things that I can do. And one of them is regaining perspective. Like, if my mind is dwelling on how painful an experience is that I'm having, there's a part of my brain, part of my mind that says, oh, wow, this has got to be the worst pain in the world. Nobody has experienced this much pain. And it's like this for everyone. Everyone experiences this, where it's so intense that we forget that there's other people out there who have it worse than us. Like, I think no matter what my problems are, I'm not currently experiencing human trafficking. That, uh, yeah, there, and every one of us is a human being. And there are people who um, experience way more trauma than me. And there's people who experience way less trauma than me. And it doesn't matter. It's all terrible, and there's no contest for it. What we can do is um, use other people's stories to help us regain perspective for ourselves. And this is a wonderful thing to practice. Because at a certain point, the pain from it all is just, it's disorienting. You know, at a certain threshold of pain, the mind goes unconscious for protection. So, and there's a crossover in the brain where the brain doesn't know the difference between physical pain and psychological pain. It's just pain. So at a certain threshold, it'll go unconscious. And so what I'm doing is developing my threshold to hold my mind awake through the pain, accept that it's there, hold my mind awake, and allow it to dissipate. I allow the pain to dissipate into a sense of mental clarity. And I do this over and over again. In this way, the worst experiences that I have, the worst emotions that I experience, these become the best reps in healing that I get. And so this changes my perspective. And perspective there's a lot of things in perspective. I have some notes written here. There's our bigger picture of the world. And then there's the most intense pain that we're experiencing at the time. And that takes precedence. So if we realize ourselves as taking up one partition of human space on the surface of the planet that's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, traveling at 67,000 miles per hour around the sun, and yet we perceive ourselves as perfectly still. And then we also have a survival system that runs on emotions. And when the emotions are running in intense enough charges, our perspective collapses down onto whatever it is that's agitating our system. Like, focus on this, survive this. And then, then we can realize that we're on the surface of the planet spinning at 1,000 miles per hour in that whatever it is that we are surviving. We either survive or we don't. And we've survived everything so far to be here now. And we're a survival-based species. We're a social survival-based species. We're highly adaptable. We can learn anything. So what I'm practicing are measures to give me the best advantage possible in reactivating my prefrontal cortex whenever it's gone offline. And doing it automatically. This is the key. Practicing the measures to do this automatically. This is the key. We can muscle memorize any emergency drill. We can muscle memorize an emergency drill for stress response activation. My perspective, using my higher mind, I realize where I am here and now. But when my survival brain has taken over the show and I'm triggered and my mind is just thinking about whatever the hell it's thinking about, it takes place in an imagined time. Like either in the future or the past of this present moment I'm in. It takes place in another physical location. Like I can look around in the room I'm in right here, right now, Okay, I see everything, but like my mind, I can think about a scenario involving someone at a sometime in my life, in 10 years ago, and then while I'm sitting in the same chair here and now, my mind can dissociate to another location, think about another interaction with another set of human beings, and it's endless possibilities. And the one thing constant is here and now. And so it's just bringing our perceptive awareness back to here and now. Our perspective is either here and now or in time. Toggles. Just bring it back here and now. Normalize this. This is our most natural state of being is here and now. Prior to the mind having any opportunity to imagine us anywhere else, doing anything else with anyone else, just be here and now. Recognize this as the point you're bringing it back to, as the steady anchor that you get to have, and the steady platform to always regain a sense of sanity here and now. And the longer we can be present here and now, for the healthier we are becoming. And the mind runs. Like, just because we find the here and now, it doesn't mean that the mind's not going to continue to run. The mind's going to continue to run. It's going to continue to dissociate perceptive awareness out into time, and that's just what the mind does. Okay. Here and now, bringing it back. Here and now. Without blame, shame, or question, bringing it back here and now. Another perspective. There's either the people in my physical proximity, or there's people that my mind is imagining me in the physical proximity of. So, if there's anyone in my physical environment, is one thing, and then if my mind is dissociated into thought, it thinks about the people in another environment, like in another place, another time, another place, and it toggles. And there's something that I practice doing in this with anything that I've got going on in life, like even going to the grocery store. Like, how would going to the grocery store look if I were in a tribal atmosphere? Obviously, there wouldn't be grocery stores, but how would it look if I were operating, however many thousands of years ago, accomplishing whatever I'm out to accomplish, which in today's time is gathering food from the grocery store for many. And recognizing both perspectives are valid. Like, that time and place, I have ancestors who lived at that time and had survived life through that time. We all have. This is all of us. So there's the present moment I'm in now, and then there's the realization of, wow, it was way different back however many thousands of years ago. And there's here and now. And it's also going to be different in the future. But the mind operates in a way that suggests that life as we experience it at this present moment is the way it has always been, and it projects that it is the way that it always will be. And that's not the case. It operates as though it is, but life changes. You look at just 100 years ago, in the grand scheme of things, however many years the earth has been around, however many spins the earth is on, just 100 years ago, if someone were drinking alcohol, they could go to jail. Wow. Yeah, that was right in the middle of prohibition. However many thousands of years ago, people were living without I don't even know what I don't even know how to speak in this subject. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to start guessing what people had and didn't have. But the reality of it is we are here and now, and we are influenced by the genetics of the past. And so it's up to us to wake up and direct the trajectory of our future. And this is done here and now, consciously and deliberately. But what I do is regain perspective of how things would look if I were in a hunter-gatherer tribal environment. Okay? And it gives me a bit better perspective on, I don't know, the bigger picture of people's behaviors in society, as well as my own. So there's the realization of a dual perspective of then and now. And then there's also the perspective of all time and space collapsed. Like if I'm experiencing emotional intensity, time and space collapses to become like urgent, most immediate, and the world has gotten small and this problem has gotten huge, and time distorts. And once we recognize this, then we're no longer blindsided by it. And it's important we realize this and realize the grand scheme of time. However many years we get to be here, just make our best out of every present moment we are aware of, and become aware of as many as we can. I say as many as we can, but there's only one present moment. Our minds only dissociate out of it. We regain awareness of it, usually in just small parts in life, like at a funeral, at a life-changing event, where it's like, wow, we realize what matters and what doesn't matter, we realize this for a period of time until the momentum of distraction becomes overwhelming again. And what's important is understanding that we can regain this perceptive awareness back here in the present moment. We can become present again. just because life got busy and swept away our awareness of it after a rattling life event. The peace we find in presence, we can realize here and now. And we just realized that, okay, my mind had been running. Where had it been? What had it been doing? Where am I at? When am I at? Who am I with? Who am I that is observing all this? So we can shift our perspective. Stress collapses it, we can expand it. I hope you've gotten good stuff from this video. I hope you're able to use this for some benefit for yourself. Feel free to visit realizingpresence.com for more. I wish you a healthy healing journey. God bless you. And thank you for your support.